The year is 661 CE. The Islamic world witnesses a significant shift in power. Muayyad I, a shrewd politician and governor of Syria, assumes the title of Caliph. This marks the beginning of the Umayyad Caliphate. Muawiya I, belonging to the Banu Umayya clan, had been a powerful figure during the early Muslim conquests. He consolidated his power base in Syria. From this strategic location, he challenged and ultimately succeeded Ali, the fourth caliph, establishing the Umayyad dynasty. Muawiya I's ascension to the caliphate was a turning point in Islamic history. He moved the capital from Medina to Damascus. This decision had profound implications for the caliphate. Damascus, a bustling city with Roman and Byzantine influences, offered a more central location for governing the expanding empire. The move also signaled a departure from the more religiously focused rule of the first four caliphs, known as the Rashidun Caliphate. Under Muawiya I's rule, the Islamic Empire experienced a period of relative stability and consolidation. He focused on strengthening the administrative structure of the caliphate. He established a more centralized system of governance. This helped to manage the vast territories now under Umayyad control. Muawiya I also recognized the importance of a strong military. He maintained a powerful army to defend the frontiers and expand the empire's reach. Muawiya I's reign laid the foundation for the Umayyad Caliphate's expansion and dominance. His political acumen and administrative reforms transformed the Islamic world. He set the stage for a dynasty that would rule for almost a century, leaving an indelible mark on the history and culture of the Middle East, North Africa, and beyond. His legacy as the founder of the Umayyad Caliphate remains a testament to his vision and leadership. The Umayyad Caliphate, under the rule of Muawiya I's successors, embarked on a period of remarkable expansion. The Islamic Empire, already vast, reached new heights, stretching from the Indus River in the east to the Atlantic Ocean in the west. This era of conquest transformed the political and cultural landscape of the regions under Umayyad rule. Across North Africa, Umayyad armies marched westward, conquering territories held by the Byzantine Empire. They swept through Egypt, pushing into the Maghreb region, eventually reaching the shores of Morocco. The conquest of North Africa was complete by the early 8th century, bringing a new faith and a new ruling class to the region. To the east, Umayyad armies pushed into Central Asia, conquering Persia and parts of what is today Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. These conquests brought them into contact with the Chinese Tang dynasty, leading to cultural and technological exchange along the Silk Road. The eastern borders of the Umayyad Caliphate extended deep into Central Asia, marking the furthest extent of Arab conquest in this direction. Perhaps the most dramatic expansion occurred in the west. Umayyad forces crossed the Strait of Gibraltar in 711 CE, landing on the Iberian Peninsula. Under the command of Tariq ibn Ziyad, they defeated the Visigothic kingdom, conquering most of the peninsula in a few short years. This marked the beginning of Islamic rule in Spain, which would last for centuries. The Umayyad Caliphate was not just a period of military expansion, it was also a time of great intellectual and cultural flourishing. Umayyad rulers were patrons of the arts and sciences, and their reign saw the construction of some of the most impressive architectural monuments in Islamic history. These buildings still stand today, testaments to the artistic brilliance and technical sophistication of the Umayyad era. One of the most iconic examples of Umayyad architecture is the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. Built by Caliph Abd al-Malik in the late 7th century, the Dome of the Rock is a masterpiece of Islamic art and architecture. Its golden dome, intricate mosaics, and octagonal shape make it one of the most recognizable buildings in the world. The Dome of the Rock stands on the Temple Mount, a site sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, highlighting the importance of Jerusalem in Islamic tradition. Another architectural marvel of the Umayyad period is the Great Mosque of Damascus. Built on the site of a Roman temple, the Great Mosque of Damascus is a vast complex of prayer halls, courtyards, and minarets. Its construction began under Caliph al-Walid I in the early 8th century, and it soon became one of the most important mosques in the Islamic world. The mosque's richly decorated interior, with its mosaics and marble columns, reflects the wealth and sophistication of the Umayyad court. Throughout the vast Umayyad Caliphate, other architectural wonders were built, showcasing the dynasty's artistic patronage and the spread of Islamic architectural styles. From the desert palaces of Jordan and Syria to the mosques and minarets of North Africa and Spain, Umayyad architecture left an enduring legacy on the Islamic world. These buildings served not just as places of worship or centers of power, but also as symbols of the cultural and artistic achievements of the Umayyad Caliphate. Section 4. Seeds of discord, internal conflicts, and the treatment of non-Arabs. While the Umayyad Caliphate projected an image of power and unity to the outside world, internal divisions were brewing. The rapid expansion of the empire, combined with the Umayyads' own policies, created tensions that would ultimately contribute to their downfall. One of the most significant sources of conflict was the treatment of non-Arab Muslims, known as Mawali. The Umayyads, hailing from the Arabian Peninsula, had a hierarchical view of society. They placed Arabs, particularly those from their own tribe, at the top. Mawali, despite converting to Islam, were often treated as second-class citizens. They faced discrimination in taxation, access to government positions, and social standing. This inequality bred resentment and dissatisfaction among the Mawali population, who formed a growing segment of the Caliphate's inhabitants. Another source of internal strife was the rivalry among Arab tribes. The Umayyads, though successful in expanding the empire, struggled to maintain unity among the various Arab factions. Tribal rivalries, often stemming from pre-Islamic times, resurfaced and fueled instability within the Caliphate. These rivalries played out in power struggles, military conflicts, and political assassinations, weakening the fabric of the Umayyad state. Furthermore, the Umayyads faced opposition from those who questioned the legitimacy of their rule. Some Muslims believed that the Caliphate should be led by someone directly descended from the Prophet Muhammad's family, the Hashemites. This belief gained traction among those who saw the Umayyads as usurpers, more interested in worldly power than in upholding Islamic principles. The Hashemites, particularly the descendants of Ali, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, became a focal point for dissent against the Umayyads. Section 5. The Fall of the Umayyads, a dynasty overthrown. By the middle of the 8th century, the internal tensions plaguing the Umayyad Caliphate reached a boiling point. The grievances of the Mawali, the simmering tribal rivalries, and the opposition from those who challenged the Umayyads' right to rule coalesced into a potent force for rebellion. In 750 CE, a rebellion led by the Abbasid family, claiming descent from the Prophet Muhammad's uncle, Abbas, swept across the Caliphate, bringing an end to Umayyad rule. The Abbasid Revolution, as it came to be known, was fueled by a combination of religious fervor, social discontent, and political opportunism. The Abbasids rallied support from various groups who felt marginalized or oppressed under Umayyad rule. Mawali, seeking equality and an end to discrimination, flocked to the Abbasid banner. Arab tribes disillusioned with Umayyad leadership saw an opportunity for change, and those who favored a caliph with a stronger claim to religious legitimacy saw the Abbasids as a righteous alternative. The Abbasids, led by Abu al-Abbas al-Safa, decisively defeated the last Umayyad caliph, Marwan II, in the Battle of the Zab in 750 CE. This victory marked the end of the Umayyad Caliphate and the beginning of the Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasids, keen to consolidate their power and eliminate any potential threats, hunted down surviving members of the Umayyad family. Many were killed, effectively ending the dynasty's rule in the east. The fall of the Umayyad Caliphate was a watershed moment in Islamic history. It brought an end to the Arab-centric rule of the Umayyads and ushered in a new era under the Abbasids. The Abbasids, recognizing the importance of accommodating diverse groups within the empire, implemented reforms to address the grievances of the Mawali. They moved the capital of the Caliphate from Damascus to Baghdad, a more central location, symbolizing a shift away from the Arab heartland. Section 6. Legacy of the Umayyads, Al-Andalus, and a lasting impact. Despite the Abbasid takeover and the brutal purge that followed, the Umayyad dynasty was not entirely extinguished. One branch of the family, led by Abd al-Rahman I, a grandson of Caliph Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik, escaped the massacre and sought refuge in Al-Andalus, the Islamic-ruled portion of the Iberian Peninsula. Abd al-Rahman I, known as the Immigrant, established an independent Umayyad emirate in Al-Andalus in 756 CE, preserving the dynasty's legacy in the west. Under Umayyad rule, Al-Andalus flourished into a beacon of culture, learning, and prosperity. The Umayyad emirs of Al-Andalus, later declaring themselves caliphs, fostered a vibrant intellectual environment that attracted scholars, artists, and poets from across the Islamic world. The cities of Cordoba, Seville, and Toledo became centers of knowledge, renowned for their libraries, universities, and architectural splendor. The Great Mosque of Cordoba, expanded and embellished by successive Umayyad rulers, stood as a testament to their artistic patronage and the cultural achievements of Al-Andalus. The Umayyad Caliphate of Cordoba, as it was known, became a center of Islamic civilization in Western Europe. It played a crucial role in transmitting knowledge and ideas between the Islamic world and Christian Europe. The relative tolerance of the Umayyad rulers towards their Christian and Jewish subjects fostered a climate of cultural exchange, contributing to the flourishing of Al-Andalus. This period of coexistence and intellectual ferment had a profound impact on the development of both European and Islamic civilization. The Umayyad dynasty, despite its relatively short tenure as rulers of a unified Islamic empire, left an enduring legacy. Their conquests expanded the reach of Islam, spreading the faith across North Africa, the Middle East, and into Europe. Their architectural achievements, from the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem to the Great Mosque of Damascus, continue to inspire awe and wonder. And their rule in Al-Andalus preserved a vibrant center of Islamic culture in Western Europe for centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the history and identity of Spain and Portugal. The Umayyads, though ultimately overthrown, played a pivotal role in shaping the course of Islamic history and its impact on the world.